Hey Use World, I am back with another video. Today I want to go over my entire Preloved handbag collection. There are 13 different bags that I want to show you, and I think there are 13. They keep popping up every time I look around. I was like, oh, here's another one. But this has taken me over 10 years of experience to really be confident in what I'm purchasing pre-loved. And I've said this before, if you see my other videos, there's always a risk in purchasing pre-loved, not just when it comes to the authenticity, which is usually the major thing people are concerned about, but the condition that you see in pictures or perhaps videos, and then, the smell and etc., right? I won't be going into too much detail on the second two, but I will focus a little bit on the first one. So let's just get right into it. The reason why I love purchasing pre-loved is, one, it's the thrill of the hunt, right? Find the perfect, bag in the perfect condition, and of course at the perfect price. And majority of the times when you purchase pre-loved, you can find pieces at 50% off, 30% off, or even 70% off sometimes. So that's probably the biggest incentive for me to go out and purchase pre-loved. And of course, in terms of Hermes, you have to have certain pre-spend, or you have to drop a lot of money on their other products before you can actually be offered a Birkin or Kelly, etc. So going pre-loved is always a good option if you don't want to play the Hermes game. Other brands, certain pieces that are limited, or perhaps you just don't want to pay retail prices. Before I keep going here, let's talk about my first pre-loved piece that you probably have seen me unbox not too long ago. This is my Hermes HAC in the size 28. And it is in Epsom leather. You can see it's palladium hardware and the chocolate color, brown color. I don't know exactly what the color is. And it is just a very special and rare piece that I don't really see online or just out in the wild. So I thought this was such a cool piece to add to my collection. So I'm gonna put this here as eye candy as we continue to chit chat here. And I am really excited to partner up with Legitgrails for this particular video. If you're not familiar with Legitgrails, they are an authentication services and so much more. I used Legitgrails back in 2023 because I purchased a Chanel Diana and a pink one. You've never seen it on my channel because I got rid of that thing so fast. And I questioned the authenticity of it. And so I put it through Legitgrails, which ended up being authentic. However, it was painted, so I was pretty upset about that. But in any case, back in the day when I used Legitgrails, the experience itself was really easy. It was easy, anything you would expect of an authentication service, where they ask you for a number of pictures, you upload it, and then they turn it around for you, within however many hours that you choose for that service. And it was a really good experience back in the day, which of course, in preparation for this particular video, I put my Hermes through the service, and the interface is a lot better to use today, which I appreciate because companies need to always be improving and making sure that it is a good experience for your clients, right? So thank goodness. I mean, I knew this was real, but this came back to be authentic. And I took really good photos because I did choose the 30-minute option, turn around, and I wanted to test to see how fast they can turn around. I took really good pictures. I know what they're asking for because they give you very clear guidelines on how to upload your photos. Within 20, 22 minutes, they sent me an email saying, hey, we need 3 more pictures from you to make sure that we get a better picture of the leather and the stamping of the bag itself and the logo, etc. And of course, they sent back a certificate with a QR code showing the authenticity of the bag. And what I love about Legitgrails is that the pricing is so affordable. I know there are a lot of other options out there that cost you $200, $100, and there's only limited brands that you can choose from. It's hard to keep track of all of the different ones out there, but with Legitgrails, they authenticate over 250. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for you. So you don't really have to go anywhere else if you don't want to. It's up to you. But the prices are very affordable. For premium brands like, Hermes or Chanel, they range from $25 to $55. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, for you to have insurance and reassurance, not insurance, in reassurance, peace of mind that your item that you bought, even from companies like Fashion File and eBay, it's good to get a second opinion, right? Just like when you go to the doctors, you want a second opinion. And then for brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Fendi, things like that, in that particular tier, it ranges from $15 to $35, depending on how fast you want to turn around, right? So that is so affordable. So that covers the second bullet point I previously mentioned, where it's professional authentication, right? But going back to number one, which is self-authentication, which I think Legitgrails does an excellent job by educating you and gaining your own personal knowledge. They do offer these master courses. They have a bunch of articles for free, but I think the master class is like next level. So obviously I took the Hermes one. The course itself is about an hour and a half, so it's not going to take too much time. And what's really cool is that they have different sections. They talk a little bit about the history of Hermes, and then they go over the stitching, they go over the hardware, the logo, and the material, the leather itself. You know, just to give you an example, looking at Epsom leather, if the leather is too uniform or there's the pattern that is too consistent, that's not real leather, right? That's not what you're looking for, because real leather is very inconsistent in terms of the graining. So things like that, I found it super interesting. And then they give you quizzes at the end to make sure you know, we taught you and you know what you're looking for now. And my favorite part about this is that they give you little cheat sheets, like little note cards and PDF that you can save on your phone. The reason why you want that is because like sometimes you're in person, you're looking at the item. It's not like you can just sit on the bag itself and start taking pictures. I'm going to send it off to the authentication service. You might get weird looks from the sales associates, right? You want to have this at the tip of your fingers on your phone just to do some self-authentication right then, right there. Or perhaps it's on a listing and you need to make decisions quickly because it's such a great price, whatever it is, right? So having that knowledge is so important for you to start self-authenticating products without having to use a service like that. So I highly recommend that you take those courses, because those little cheat sheet cards that you can have is super money. And of course, you can't just look at one item and say, oh, okay, that looks good. The stitching looks good. All of these steps that I'm talking about, it makes a whole lot of sense when you actually put them all together. And I actually went through this course and I was like, yeah, I know what a Hermes logo looks like, right? And I took the courses, I took the quiz, and I got a bunch wrong. It's like, okay, I really didn't know anything. It's like, Jon Snow, you know nothing. Apparently I knew nothing. So that was a pretty fun activity, but I highly encourage you to go take a look at those courses. It's worth the money. And Legitgrails was kind enough to provide us a 15% off code. I would say use that code to go through an authentication process. If you've never done it before, get yourself familiarized with how that process works. You know, just get one of your existing pieces that you have and go through the process. So you know, and not when you actually need the service, you're not using it for the first time, right? So thanks again, Legitgrails, for offering these great services to us at an affordable price and for partnering up with me today. This is my second bag from my Preloved luxury collection. This is my Louis Vuitton On The Go, and I love this bag a lot. I said it before, I'm kind of moving away from Louis Vuitton, but I do love this empreinte leather because it's very low key. I do use this for work. It has the long straps and the top handle, so I actually love the functionality of this Louis Vuitton bag. I think this is definitely going to stay in my collection for quite a while because it's got the quality, it's worn very well. I've had this for a number of years, and I did purchase this from Poshmark. And funny story with this one is that this was like around COVID time when lockdown was still happening. I was like, I need to check the authentication of this bag. There's no date code anymore. I can't do the usual because this is a newer piece. So I immediately, went to the Louis Vuitton store. Any opportunity to get out of the house, I will take it back in the day, right? And I demanded the sales associates to find the QR code and scan it and tell me it's authentic. Now, obviously, you don't need to do that if you had services like Legitgrails, right? I thought that was pretty funny. I think the sales associate was really annoyed with me. So this is my second bag. The third one is going to be my Chanel single flap. I love this bag. This is one of my go-to when it comes to Chanel. This is a vintage piece from like the 1993 range, I think. And it's got the gold hardware. And this is just such a versatile piece. I took this to President's Club when I was in Mexico. It's got wear but I'm not afraid to use it because it's got flaws with this particular bag, but it's still a beautiful bag. And it's not the traditional classic flap. It does fit a lot because of that. I can fit all of my essentials in there. You can either crossbody this bag or wear as a shoulder bag, right? Because of the double chain. And what I love about this is the back pocket. You can fit your entire phone in there. It's not like the Mona Lisa pocket where you can really, basically fit nothing, right? So I love this bag, and I think this will be in my collection pretty much forever. And if it gets bad enough, I will probably take it to get it spa'd. But overall, I do love the vintage look to it, and it's got wear. So it's been used, right? It's been loved. The next pre-loved piece I want to talk about is my Celine Trottoir. So you've seen my vlog sales. I had this particular one in the medium size in a beige with silver hardware. I love that bag. It's such a functional bag. I had the small before, and it was just way too small. It fit nothing. I can't crossbody it. And the pocket didn't really fit anything because it was just a tiny little one, kind of like a Mona Lisa one. Whereas this particular one is a zip pocket. The interior is fully leather lined, so this is a high quality bag. I think this is a very underrated bag from the Phoebe Philo days. You can fit an entire cell phone in there. The interior is gorgeous. The reason why I can let go of that bag is because this one is just a beautiful blue color. And of course, I love my gold hardware. So I decided to let that one go and purchase this one as a replacement. The next bag I want to talk about is my Cartier. I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm going to butcher every French word I say and get flack for it. So this is the reminiscence of the Cartier, box, right? Their jewelry box. And so underrated. I love this bag. It took me a long time to find the perfect bag for the perfect price in the perfect condition. And I was able to purchase this from the Japanese market. And it had stickers on it still. It was basically unused. It does come with a crossbody strap and a top handle, and the magnet is built in. Like, you see how it's a completely seamless look to it. I don't use this bag very often because it is smooth skin and I'm afraid of scratching it, but I love this bag. The last time I wore it out, I got so many compliments. One of our friends was like, "Girl, I'm gonna steal that bag from you over my dead body," because I love this thing so much. They do come in crossbodies, the smaller size. They also have wallets and SLG. I think you can still purchase this on the website. I could be wrong. And they come in like green, black, and like beige, I think. But of course you want to go with the red one. It is the classic color of Cartier. The next one I want to go over is the Ferragamo iconic medium. So this is a vintage piece that I purchased, I want to say last year. And I think this is a very underrated bag because they re-released this bag and they're charging what, $3,000, $4,000. And there's nothing like too much of an update to it. And for you to purchase this one in the pre-loved market, you could definitely get a good deal, probably under $500 or $600, maybe $800. This is a hard wearing bag. This is something I would wear during the winter or fall just because of the dark chocolate, and it's a very formal looking bag. So, if I wear a summer dress, this might not pair well with it, I think. So this is something I wear, more in the colder seasons. The next bag I want to go over is my Prada double cur tote. I think that's what it's called. And I really like this bag, but then I fell out of love with it. I tried selling it multiple times. Prada has terrible resale value. So it's just like, is this even worth letting go? This is a work bag and I've used it multiple times while I traveled for work. It does fit in an entire laptop in here, like a 14-inch. So it's actually a really versatile bag. It does come with a long shoulder strap, pretty inconspicuous. Like if you don't want to be flashy at all, you obviously can wear it like this. And then if you want the Prada logo to be showing, you definitely can. The leather on this is amazing. I'm sitting here and I can smell the leather. I think it's a very underrated tote that you can probably look on the pre-loved market and find a really good deal. I'm not too fond of Prada in general, just because I feel like a lot of their nylon stuff is just completely like ridiculously priced for nylon. But this one is definitely worth the money. I did purchase this one from my friend's sister, and she bought it from the boutique, so I didn't really have to get it like authenticated or anything because I know her very well. And this is definitely staying in my collection. The next bag is going to be my Dior Vanity. I bought this from Rebag. Actually, I traded a couple pieces in and got this one instead. So this was back in the day when Rebag was still a good company to work with, where you can actually trust them to ship you the item that you asked for or you purchased. I thought about letting this one go, and I'm just like, I should just keep it because one, you know, Dior is getting a lot of flack right now, and two, it's such a unique looking bag and it's very different from my typical go-to, right? Your flat bag, the totes, the top handles. So I think I'm gonna keep this. And I really do like this bag. And I don't have a whole lot of red bags anymore. So yeah, you're staying with me, buddy. All right, what bag is this? This is bag number 9. Bag number 9 is a Chanel Maxi. Wait, Maxi Jumbo. This is the Jumbo. I purchased this one because I remember growing up, and of course I didn't really understand Chanel back in the day. I stopped by my aunt's place and she opened up her closet, and I remember vividly seeing her with her Chanel bag that she bought, I think probably in like the 80s or 90s. Probably the 90s. And I just remember that and I was like, ooh, very intrigued by that bag. So because of that memory, so to speak, when I found also big bags were coming back, I purchased this, I want to say 2 years ago. I've used it all of one time. It's kind of big and it's kind of flashy. And also it's a black bag. So I'm not really a person that wears a whole lot of black bags. So I haven't gravitated towards this, but I don't know if I want to let it go because I feel like this is quality that you won't see again when it comes to Chanel, you know, with the whole 24 karat gold. It's in beautiful condition. It's maintained its shape. So I think I will probably keep this in my collection for the sake of it. Maybe it's going to be worth a lot of money someday. I don't know, but it's really also pretty to look at on my shelf. So, all right, I think I've got 4 bags left, including this one. This is my first Hermes vintage piece that I bought, and this is in Epsom leather. It's a Kelly 35. It is massive, but I love it. It does have a little bit of wear on the corners, which I talked to my SA in France, and he's like, just bring that in. We'll fix it for 300 euros. I was like, what? That's it? Maybe I'll take you up on that. So I actually really enjoy a bag that has a little bit of wear because you don't have to worry about babying it. So I did wear this to Paris the last time I was there. It was a pretty functional bag because when we went around Paris, I wore it as a shoulder bag, and whatever knickknacks or whatever things I bought while I'm out and about, I just threw in there. And it wasn't like I don't have to carry anything, right? So if you had a tiny little bag, you obviously would have to start carrying stuff on your hands if you're out and about. So I think the 35 is super underrated. If you're okay with a bigger bag, you're a bigger person like me, I'm 5'8", definitely take advantage because the prices can be really good when it comes to a Kelly 35. I got this definitely under $10,000. This is my Bolide 35 from Hermes, and it's also an Epsom leather. I feel like now that I'm like looking at this, I have a lot of Epsom leathers. I should start looking at other leathers from Hermes since they have so many different ones and they're all gorgeous. But this is another big bag. I've used this one for work as well. I think it's the perfect one. It does fit a laptop, but it's pretty snug because if you fit it in the middle, you have to like kind of stir around with your stuff split in between, but it is a very low-key bag, so I feel confident using this bag while I'm at work or work events. It does have a zip compartment, which my biggest beef with this bag is that it only has one zipper. Why can't they have made it with 2 zippers? I get the whole thing where you put the lock or lock it. It's like, when are you ever going to lock this bag, right? Okay, just saying. And I purchased this one from Poshmark, actually. So it was a really good deal. I got it for, I want to say, around $2,000. And it's got 5 feet on the bottom. So it's got a little bit of wear, but I'm not upset about it. I think the wear was done by me. So, but I do love this bag quite a bit because it is a classic looking bag that will never go out of style. Okay, 2 more bags. This is my Chanel square flap. This is in the caviar. And I think this is a very special piece. I had a moment of insanity, I guess, trying to let this go because this is actually a very rare piece. So if you look on the pre-loved market, most of the time when you see a Chanel square flap, it is going to be in black as well as smooth skin. A lot of them haven't hold its shape very well. The fact that I found a beige color, which is like my power color, so to speak, and it's in the gold hardware in decent condition, I don't know what I was thinking. I should totally just keep this bag because caviar leather is something special. And I do love this bag a lot. It's got a back pocket where you can fit a phone. Of course, it's got the 24 karat gold hardware, and then you've got the interior, which you can literally put most of your items in there. So I do love this bag. This one is probably also from the 1990s. They just don't make them like they used to anymore. So I think I'm gonna hold on to this for at least a little bit. Okay, last but not least is my Birkin 35 in Togo leather. Come on, Togo? It's one of those. In gold hardware, and it's maroon. I love this bag. This is such a gorgeous bag. And if you haven't seen my original video, that is what prompted me to start panic selling. You know, the whole panic buying, I did panic selling because this thing was expensive. And I was like, get rid of all my bags. I need funds so I can buy this Birkin. And this one is in pristine condition. There's no corner wear. There's nothing that no call outs whatsoever, which is also why I'm a little afraid to use it because I don't want to be the first one to ruin the bag, but I do need to start using this bag. The size 35 feels a little big, but I think it is the classic one. And in the maroon, it's not like a bright neon green or anything. I think this is something I will keep in my collection for a long time as well. Okay, I am covered with bags. So I hope you really enjoyed that video. This is my current pre-loved collection. And again, thanks for Legitgrails. Go check them out. Use the 15%, test it out just to give it a whirl. But life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see y'all next time.